In this video, Kevin and I are going to be talking about the movies and TV shows that we watched during the month of December. So we watched 3 Christmas movies basically, and Kevin probably doesn't even remember them.
I remember that 2 of them were old.
Okay, well, one of them was new. One of them was 2023, and the reason I watched it is because it's considered a Christmas movie, but it's called The Holdovers. And do you remember this?
Vaguely.
Okay. This is the description. A cranky history teacher at a remote prep school is forced to remain on campus over the holidays with a troubled student who has no place to go. It stars Paul Giamatti. I think I'm saying his name right. He is in the show Billions. If you ever watch Billions, he's in a bunch of different things. But he plays this history teacher, and basically one of the kids can't go at this prep school.
It's a prep school, so they're mostly wealthy people.
Yeah, and they usually, it's like Hogwarts. You go and then you go home for the holidays. Well, this kid's mom does not want to take him have him at home for the holidays. So basically the teacher's stuck at school because somebody has to stay with this kid. And
I don't know how it was a Christmas beyond it taking place at Christmas. That was about it.
I do not think it was. I don't think there was anything Christmassy about it. That's why I watched it. Is because I had hopes that it would be a real Christmas movie. It was not a Christmas movie.
It's kind of like people with the argument with Die Hard. Die Hard has nothing to do with Christmas except it takes place at Christmas.
It takes place at Christmas, yes.
The same argument is for this one. It takes place at Christmas, but it really doesn't have a Christmas theme.
Right,
Not like Elf or Christmas Vacation.
I agree. Where it centers, the whole thing is Christmas.
Yeah.
I agree. This was a one-time watch.
It wasn't bad. It was just not awesome. It was very slow.
It was slow. It was very, very, very slow.
Yeah.
So then the other one we watched, I would also consider this one slow. This one was from 1939. It was in black and white. It was called Remember the Night. And it was supposed to be a Christmas movie too. So, I really don't consider this one a Christmas movie.
Which one was that one about?
This one is about the attorney. Okay. He's an attorney. It stars Fred McMurray from My Three Sons. He was a good-looking man. Yeah. Fred McMurray and Barbara Stanwyck. And so Fred McMurray is this attorney, and Barbara Stanwyck is a shoplifter. And basically,
they get stuck together over Christmas, basically.
Yes. And do I consider that a Christmas movie?
No.
No.
There was really nothing Christmassy about it either.
And it was slow.
It was very slow. It was slower than the first one.
It was slow.
At least stuff was happening during the other one. But there's really nothing going on during this one.
Yeah, another one-time only movie.
Was that the one we watched on the where you had the ads constantly?
Yes.
It was a lot of ads.
It was like, it must have been Amazon Prime.
No, it was like a Roku TV or something.
That's right.
It was one of those.
That's right. It was free on with the Roku TV. And yes, you got ads like every few minutes. And I thought, we're never going to get through this movie with all these ads.
It's worse than any ad on TV.
Yes. Yeah, you're right about that. Then Funny Farm. Funny Farm was from 1988. It stars Chevy Chase, and I had seen Funny Farm before.
Ages ago.
But I hadn't seen it in a long time. I've seen it probably 2 or 3 times previously, but it had been many, many years ago, and I had forgotten everything about it, and so I wanted to watch it again. And it's basically Chevy Chase is leaving the big city, and he's going out, and he bought this farm so that he can write his book. And him and his wife, and
yeah, they didn't have any children.
No.
I was thinking there was a child involved, but there wasn't.
No, there wasn't. And everybody in this town is just it's what you hear about people in the northeastern part of the United States. You hear that if you go to these particular states, they're very snotty, and unless you're born there, they don't accept you. And so that's kind of the treatment.
They're playing on that.
They're playing on that, yes. And so, do you consider that a Christmas movie?
It took place at Christmas. Actually, it didn't even really take place. It just took place in the winter.
It ended at Christmas.
Yeah, but it really took place just in the cold.
Yeah, and for the most part, there was nothing Christmas about it. So I don't consider that a Christmas movie either.
No decorating or anything. It was just
except for the end. There was.
Right. That's it.
They were singing Christmas carols and stuff like that at the end of the movie. But none of that happened like 90% of the movie.
No, again, took place around Christmas. That was it.
And those were the only three. We did not watch any
of our traditional ones.
No, not at all. And I don't know that we did last year either. I don't remember.
I think we watched one, but that was it. I think we watched the Christmas Carol, but that was it.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this year we did not watch any of those because we were very, very busy watching reality
other things.
Competition shows.
Yeah.
So like we watched I'm going to skip a bunch. So we watched I'm a Celebrity. We were watching that. That was coming on like every night. Mm-hmm. And I am going to give spoilers during this.
I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. I'm going to give spoilers during this, so if you don't want to hear anything, just don't watch the video, because the shows that I'm going to talk about, these things have been off for so long that you should have already known who won. So Sam won that, which we had no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt that Sam was going to win. He was awesome. There's this guy who's in a singing group in there. I hope he does take Sam up on stage. And Sam was great. He was my favorite person in there next to Nigel. And he has a great personality. One of those people that wants to just get up and embrace the day. And he's always in a good mood. And he always sees the happy side of things. And he sees
very energetic.
Yeah, he has a childlike view of way of seeing things, and honestly, I've had that exact comment about me on this channel. So I guess maybe that's why I like him so much, is because I like that. I like the innocence and the wonderment, and I like that he was that way.
It was a good season. I mean, it's just like every other season, but it was good.
Yeah. Then we watched we finished The Amazing Race Australia, and I believe that was with celebrities in Australia, because at the end of it, 3 teams won. So like one team would have been the clear winner. They could have absolutely won the game. But at the end of The Amazing Race, if you don't know, you have to step on a mat. The team has to step on the mat in order to win.
Check in,
to check in. The team that would have won decided, we're not going to do that. We're going to wait for the other 2 teams to show up so that we can all 3 win the prize money for our charity.
Yeah, it was all for charity. So
I loved, what they call her, Emma Wiggles. Was her name Emma? I loved her.
Something like that.
I love the Wiggles anyway, but I couldn't tell you any of their names or whatever.
I think she was the first female Wiggle.
Red
hair.
She and her sister, I really love her. I thought she was terrific.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would win the whole thing, but they got hung up in that last leg.
Yeah, I was hoping that, but I'm glad
they ended up splitting it anyway.
Yes, so that was a very, very good season. It was the first time that had ever been done to where they split the prize money, and I love that. Then Survivor UK. We are still watching this right now, so we can't tell you who won. But by the time this goes up, we will have finished it.
Yeah, I think we only have 2 more.
We have 2 more episodes to go. Some things that are different between the Survivor UK and here. It's almost like they've gone, well, it hasn't been on.
It hasn't been on since like 2002.
In the UK.
Yeah, and now they're like 20-some years later, they're bringing it back. So it's like old school Survivor.
Yes, they have tree mail.
They still have tree mail.
Remember,
which I think they still have tree mail for us, but they don't say anything about it.
They never show.
Or they drive up with a boat or something, right up.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I mean, they don't seem to have tree mail.
They don't have. They have hidden immunity idols, but they don't have as many like different variations and all this like very complicated, convoluted. You only get half power until this, and then if this person gets eliminated, then you get full. You know, all that confusing stuff is gone. They have a hidden immunity and that's it.
They've had some different challenges, which we thought were really neat.
Yeah, some of them have been the same, but some of them have been completely different.
Completely different.
There was one with pegs. They were standing up on a pegboard. I loved it. It was cool.
I wish that our Survivor would watch that and they would do it here because...
Yeah, it's funny at the end of this one, it says created by someone else.
It doesn't say Mark Burnett or whatever is the guy who does
It doesn't even mention him or...
No, because it's funny. The one we watched in Australia a while back, Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
The one we watched a while back in Australia did mention Mark Burnett.
Yeah.
But this one in the UK does not mention that.
But you can tell it's the same
thing.
Format,
yeah.
So.
The music's different.
Yeah.
I like our music better.
It's like tribal music.
Because it's tribal music and it makes it more serious. This music that they're using is the UK is really, really good. I do have to say that. They're really good about getting popular music, whether it be I'm a Celebrity or Big Brother or whatever, and incorporating really popular music because they're willing to pay for it into their shows. And I think that's great, except for in Survivor. For me, I take it more seriously with the tribal music.
Yeah, it's more lighthearted when it's like popular music, singing, you know.
Yeah, it's more like I don't know. I can't take it as seriously.
Right. I'm a Celebrity does the same thing. They play regular music.
They
throughout.
do,
but it's a more lighthearted show.
Yeah, Survivor is a gritty get in there, and they're really in there. Trying to survive the elements and the hardships and all these the challenges and everything, and it just kind of takes that away from it when you put that like campy music with it.
I've enjoyed it though.
I have enjoyed it,
but it has been like more of a throwback to the old school Survivor, not the,
yes. Have to say
even the idols and stuff are very like low budget idols. They have like the tribal idol was like a piece of wood with some gold stuff stuck to it, and it's like
boy, they have a low budget for this show.
Wow, they didn't spend much money on that.
Yeah, they didn't spend much money
because on the one over here they actually like carve out figures and all kinds of
like
stuff.
Tiki people, you know, and this one is like literally they found a piece of wood and they put gold on it. Also, I think too, I don't like the paper they're using because they've tried to make it look old and dirty.
Yeah,
but
so it's got
by doing
black
that,
lines and squiggles and stuff in it.
By doing that, it's hard to read the name. So when they're voting somebody out, it's really hard sometimes to read what name they've written because they've tried to make this paper look old.
Yeah.
And so I think there's things that maybe they'll look at that and hopefully change that for next season.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're kind of threw it out there as they didn't want to spend a lot of money. So they're putting it out there to see if it's popular and to do more. Because the prize is only £100,000.
Ours is $1 million.
Yeah.
We get $1 million if we win Survivor. They get £100,000.
Yeah, which is like $150,000 over here.
Yeah, and it's like, wow. Yeah, so I agree with you. They're probably seeing. So if you're in the UK, you'll have to let us know.
Yeah, how popular
was it? Did you watch it yourself? Did you enjoy it? Because I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
And there's been some surprises.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the people on there, seeing people. There's been some bickering back and forth and groups and stuff like that. It's typical Survivor. It's just it's not as complicated as ours is, and sometimes that's a good thing because sometimes I watch ours and I'm like, I don't know what the heck that even means. they open a piece of paper. It's like I don't even know what that means. I guess we'll see how it plays out. You know, it's like I don't even understand that.
So we finished our Survivor and D won. D won our Survivor. She played a good game.
She did.
I liked her. I liked her too. But I wonder, she had a showmance with this boy on there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how long that'll last.
I wonder how long that'll last because they got along really well there, which was nice to see. Yeah. I think that's cool. Yeah. The Traitors, New Zealand. We watched that and finished it. And
was good.
Two Faithfuls won that.
Yeah, that was good.
So I always I start out rooting for the Traitors.
I do too. Hoping to get as many of the Faithfuls as possible.
But then at the end, I'm really wanting the Faithfuls to win.
To actually get some money.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. That's just how it always turns out for me. So we enjoyed that.
Yeah,
although they're going to have to start changing this up. Because everything's the same.
Yeah, that's kind of the same. Well, different countries, and they've used some of the same games. In each country.
Right.
Of course, if you didn't watch the other countries, you wouldn't know.
You
they
wouldn't
were all
know.
new. Yeah.
Well, guess what? They're all basically, they've been the same.
They've been the same.
Yeah.
The people are different, though. So the
Yeah.
just because the games are the same, the people are enough different to where it makes you want to watch it.
Yeah.
And New Zealand did do some different activities and games that they didn't do in the other ones.
Yeah.
So.
And New Zealand was more, instead of being like in an old house, it's literally like, it looks like a resort out in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like some big old house.
It wasn't like a big mansion. It was like a big hotel, basically.
Yeah.
Or not even a hotel. It was literally just like
it
almost
was
like a big bed and
retreat.
breakfast.
It seemed like
Yeah.
a retreat. Like you would go here to get your facials and your
like a spa or
massages,
something
like a
like that.
spa type thing is
Yeah.
what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, because the rooms weren't they were nice, but they weren't super fancy or anything.
Right. Yeah. Then we we watched a show together. We watched a show called Significant Other, and it's a UK show, and it only had like 6 episodes, and it stars Catherine Parkinson. She played in the IT Crowd, and she played in Humans, and it's about she and her neighbor. They live in this apartment building in. It's in London, isn't it? Is it supposed to be in London? And
somewhere in the UK. Somewhere in a city in the UK.
Yeah, so he's by himself, she's by herself, and they end up meeting through these awkward circumstances, and there's just a lot of awkwardness.
It's awkward, but it has its very funny moments.
Yes.
So you might get these little, it's kind of like,
it's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a kind of the story, and then all of a sudden a little burst of something funny will happen. And then it's a story, and then something funny will happen. So it's not the whole thing's not rolling off or laughing. It's just, these little bursts of funny events happen.
Yeah, and awkwardness. Yeah.
There's a lot of awkwardness in there.
Yeah. So then I'm watching Real Housewives, The Ultimate Girls Trip. Okay, so,
I'm not.
You're not. So, a few months ago, I don't know when it was, I said I had tried to watch The Real Housewives of New York, and they replaced all the old people with all new people. Well, The Real Housewives, The Ultimate Girls Trip, all those old people are on this show.
Not old people, the original people.
Well, they're older. They're in.
They are older.
Them are in their 60s. I mean, Ramona's and they're in their 60s. You know.
So it fits in both definitions.
Yeah. So the Ultimate Girls Trip. So you have Luann's on there, the Countess, or she used to be the Countess.
She's one of the originals.
Sonia, Ramona, Crazy Eyes Ramona, but then they brought back Kristen Teekman, however you pronounce that. I don't know how many episodes she was on. I don't think Kevin would even recognize her. He knows the older ones that were on the show.
Not because I'll ever watch it, but I knew you watched it.
Well, and you glance at it.
Yeah, I would look over there.
And so he knows the drama and all that. But Kristen Teekman, I don't know how many episodes she was on there. She's very beautiful, but she was in New York, and then she moved to like California. But her husband, they mentioned this during the show, her husband was involved in the Ashley Madison scandal, where it's like these married men sign up on this website to date people or to hook up. It's not to date people, it's for hookups. Well, he has convinced her, and I mean, because this happened years ago. Her husband's convinced her that he never cheated on her. And she's decided that she's just going to believe this, and so they're still together, you know. And I just have to say, you do you, because it's her marriage, and apparently it's working for her. But if she believes that, I've got a bridge to sell her, because...
Was he on the app, or was he in charge of, like...
Oh, no, he was on it. He was on it. He was signed up to get hookups.
I got you. I thought maybe if he was in charge of, like... But in the behind the scenes, that may not have been he cheated. But if he was on it, yeah, more than likely
he's on it. Him and his buddies are on it. Hello.
More than likely.
I mean, and you know what? She can believe what she wants, but I can guarantee you, your husband cheated on you. Okay. And Dorinda's on there. Do you know Dorinda? I think you would know
if I saw her.
She has short blonde hair.
Really short.
Yes,
I know. I recognize.
She would remind you of a Sopranos wife.
Yeah, I recognize her.
And then you have Kelly Ben Simone. Kelly Ben Simone was on like the original shows, and she's a model, and she looks very different, and she has this lisp. And so I'm wondering, the reason I mention it is because I don't know if she's had things done to her that's created this, but she definitely has come in with this lisp, and so it's very different. But I have enjoyed it. It's still coming on. I'm still watching it. I'm still enjoying it. I would much rather watch this group of ladies than the new people they brought in to New York. I like these ladies together. I like all of them. So it's been a fun show to watch. I'm also watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's always fun to watch. I like about half the people on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Literally like half of them I really like and enjoy watching. The other half, I don't like it all and don't like it even when they're on the screen. But I watch it anyway because it's always interesting. Then I'm still watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake, which is always a cluster. And these women they drive me insane. But I'm watching it because it's like, I've said it before, they're so out of touch with the real world. But I have to tell you this because I thought this was funny. I wrote this down. Real Housewives of Salt Lake. They all go to a restaurant. They meet in this restaurant. They literally sit down and the camera is filming them, taking selfies. Literally themselves. Nobody else is in the picture. They're sitting there taking selfies. I have to tell you, when Kevin and I see people taking selfies, we laugh. We make fun.
It's different if you just take one picture, like you're on vacation,
you take one picture.
Look at us, but if you're doing it very specifically, taking a setup picture for Instagram or something, TikTok,
and there's nothing behind them. They're in a restaurant. You can't even see anything. But it's literally, let's take a picture of me because I'm so pretty that I have to take my own picture. Okay, so I think that's funny anyway. What I didn't know was they said your phone keeps track of how many selfies you've taken. Now, did you know that? How does that work?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought you might know because Kevin knows a lot about these things. Okay, so your phone keeps track of how many selfies you've taken. There's a girl on there named Whitney. She's taken her 7,297 photos of herself. Heather has taken, they put this on the screen.
Right.
Heather has taken 11,205 pictures of herself. Lisa has taken 28,000. I haven't even taken that many pictures. 28,802 pictures of herself. Vain. I see that as like the ultimate, that you want to take so many pictures of yourself. I can tell you right now, on my phone, first of all, I don't have any pictures of myself on my phone. Not even one. I don't even have one of Kevin, me, Ashley, Andrew. I don't have one of anybody, any pictures. I have 20 pictures on my phone. 20. That's it.
I have 2.
I've just never been that person. It's just, I don't.
Lots of people do it though.
Lots of people do it. I guess so. Oh, we finished The Crown.
That's good. They ended it well.
They did. It was so, I loved seeing William and Catherine. I loved seeing...
and they hadn't got married at the end, but they were dating. So.
I love seeing the Queen.
And they paid the respects to the real Queen too.
They did.
They did a good job.
They did a terrific job at the very, very, very end of the series. I will not give anything away for this. But at the very, very, very end, the way they ended it, I had a lump in my throat. The way that they did it was so well done that I loved it. I loved it. I really did.
They did.
And I thought they did.
Like I said, they paid their respects.
It was unexpected. I'm talking about at the very end when she's standing in front of Buckingham Palace. That's where I'm talking about. She's standing in front of Buckingham Palace and she turns.
Yeah.
Okay. That was like, oh my gosh. I thought that was just absolutely terrific. And then lastly, we watched Ricky Gervais Armageddon. It was the newest comedy special. We watched it on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was on Netflix.
It came out on Christmas Day, and we watched it on Christmas Day. And I like Ricky Gervais. I think he's funny.
He is funny.
The only thing that I would say about it is, if you are an American watching this, he drops a couple things in there that it's like, it didn't hit me as funny because I didn't know who he was talking about.
Yeah.
So there's, and I mean, that makes sense.
And he was doing it for a British audience.
He's British. He's doing it for a British audience. So he's saying things to relate to the audience. And so it makes sense that he's going to throw some things in there. Because I'm sure American comics do that too. And like the British people would be like, what the heck does this mean? So there were a couple of times that I was like, I had no clue. Like they laughed and we didn't.
Right. We were like, I don't know who that is that he's comparing something to, so I don't know. Yeah.
Right. But I did enjoy it.
The whole show was still really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there any, like, what would you say was your favorite thing?
Oh, I don't know. They're all so similar though. As far as the reality shows, the competitions, they all kind of are the same.
Yeah.
I still enjoy them, but
we enjoy them very.
Yeah, they're
very
still all
much.
kind of the same. I can't think of anything else we're watching. We're looking forward to a few things coming on.
Well, so like we because we've been trying to make it through Survivor. We, like I said, we have 2 episodes left. We'll have watched that by the time this goes up. But we also have a Call the Midwife has a Christmas special.
Bake Off.
The Bake Off has a Christmas special.
Pottery Throwdown had a special.
Yeah, Great Pottery Throwdown, which is always a great show for the whole family. So is the Bake Off. The Call the Midwife, I think, is the whole family can watch.
It's good.
My dad loves Call the Midwife. But all 3 of those have Christmas specials. We will watch them. It's just that we've been trying to make it through Survivor.
I've watched a couple of the new Doctor Who, like the pre-season episodes. They've been good. I've enjoyed them. They've had that. Is it David Tennant? Is that his name? They've had him in there, and the ones I've watched have been good.
Yeah. So we have things, and then our Survivor, I think in like February,
comes on pretty
ours
soon.
comes back.
Yeah. There's another show that comes on.
Young Sheldon's supposed to come back at some point.
Sometime.
They're running so
The
late.
Apprentice was supposed to come on, but then you heard that something else was replacing it. But then I still have it on my list.
The Traitors. One of you left a comment that The Apprentice was supposed to come on, but since The Traitors is so popular, they're going to do The Traitors first in the UK, and then they're going to show The Apprentice later on. That's what one of you told me.
See, my list still shows them both coming on, but it could be that they just haven't updated it.
Right, exactly. So there's lots to look forward to.
It's really weird though, the not watching the regular shows we normally do
because of the writer
strike. That everything was really, really delayed, and it's still not on.
Right, and so we're still looking forward to just regular shows.
Yeah. That happened in the 80s too with Star Trek. I remember that. Next Generation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a very short season one year because the writer strike or actor strike or somebody was striking. I don't remember. I think it was writers. Yeah.
We own every season. We still have them on DVD.
Yeah.
And we would have sold them a long time ago, but Ashley didn't want us to get rid of them. And so guess what? We still have them because Ashley wanted to keep them.
And you can watch them on,
you could probably,
on one of those streaming, I can't remember where
maybe it'll be like Records. And they'll come back.
I don't know.
Can you imagine though? Why would you want to deal with a DVD player when you could just stream it? It wouldn't make any sense.
No. And we paid, if you wanted to watch those, it's worth paying whatever the streaming service was, because we paid like $70 to $100 a piece for those.
For each season we paid. Yeah, it was like $100.
Yeah,
and we'll never get our money back out of those. No. You could probably buy them at half-price books for
$10.
Yeah, next to nothing now, which kills me.
Yeah.
But you know, that's something I can honestly say I can't ever imagine buying DVDs again. Mm-hmm. But you always see people still looking at them at Walmart.
Oh yeah, they have the dollar bin at Walmart. People still stand there sorting them.
Looking through them, and it's like.
But if they don't want to pay for a streaming service, then they're still Redbox. People still see people doing Redbox rentals and stuff too.
Do they still have Redbox?
Yeah, and we haven't done Redbox in ages, but they have one. Yeah, they have one right there at Kroger, right out front.
Where you get it And you take it home, and then you have to take it back? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
And you used to mail it in.
Yeah, well, ages with Netflix, ages
Yeah,
ago.
you used to mail it in.
They were ending their they sent their last DVD out, like not that long ago. And they just said, if you still got DVDs, just keep them. They don't want them back.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to let us know. I would like to know, did you see anything good in the theater? Because our friend Techno Squid sent us some gift cards for the movie theater.
So, we'll be going
so we
to
can go to the movie theater. We can see those. So if you've seen any good movies, I wonder if Wonka was good enough to see in the theater.
I don't know. I've heard good things about it.
I would like to know, with Timothée Chalamet, I would like to know, was that good enough to pay for? But if you've seen anything good on HBO, not HBO, it's called Max now. If you any of the streaming services, if you've watched anything good, you'll have to let us know in the comments below, because we're always curious. We're always looking for new things, just like you all are. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next month.